Hi, my name is Dan. My friends Phil and Dave and my dog Cody recently had a little adventure. We went up the Stanislaus River and did some exploring between Knight's Ferry and Goodwin Dam. What we were looking for were Miwok bedrock mortars. Well, we found some mortars, but we also found some other interesting things. And we had a good time that day, and we wanted to share our adventure with you. So I hope you enjoy this little video. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we're real close to the Stanislaus River now, just off to the right of us. And you can see this hole right here. It's obviously been excavated by somebody. This is not a naturally occurring hole. And undoubtedly they were looking for gold. You can see some of the gravel nearby. I'll zoom in on the gravel. And this almost certainly was the result of a screening process, and this is where they dumped the screened material near the hole. There's another example of someone doing some gold mining here, right down at the base of the rock. There's been some excavation, but then especially notice the crack. And this, of course, is a prime place for gold to collect, and this crack has been thoroughly cleaned out. And we'll zoom in. You can see the rather nice rock work on that wall. And then right at that point is probably where there was a door at one time. There's a depression, perfectly circular in its shape. It's not very deep, but it's almost certainly the beginning of a bedrock mortar. You can see it here, you can see the size, see the perfect round shape. It certainly doesn't look like it's been caused by any kind of natural erosion. So, looks like we're on to another Indian village site that would be nearby here. Alright, we're going to continue down the river and see what more we can find. We're a little further downstream right now, and we've come upon another area of bedrock that juts out into the river. And as you can see quite plainly here, there's a couple of very nice bedrock mortars right by the river. Nice flat work area. Now these holes were very difficult to see initially because they're all filled with dirt and leaves, and we just scooped them out so that they can be better seen. There's a couple more bedrock mortars. One there, one there. One in the distance a little bit. Alright, take a look up at the base of the cliff there. You probably cannot see anything unusual until I start to zoom in. There we go. Now you should be able to see them at maximum zoom.
Look at those crazy goats.
Yep, goats up there. Alright, we're underneath the branches of an ancient, very, very old oak tree here. Real big branches. A lot of them broken and rotting, so this has obviously been here for a long period of time. And look what's right at the base. Yeah, it's right over there, and Cody's in the way. There's a perfect example of a bedrock mortar. It's still got the leaves in it. Oh, Cody just stepped in it.
Look at this one here.
And then there's another one. Again, Cody's in the way. Hey, Cody, move.
Been well used.
Yeah. Another one underneath the leaves. Looks like a pretty deep one. But you could see how most people would walk by this and not see it at all because they weren't specifically looking for it.
Oh,
But it's nice and deep.
obvious.
This has got to be a bedrock mortar, no question about it. And the placement, nice big flat rock.
Right underneath an oak tree.
Exactly, right underneath this really old oak tree. I mean, it's conceivable that this oak tree actually was here at the time that the Native Americans worked their acorns here.
Smoothed out an area where they could sit.
What we had really been seeking was not just bedrock mortars, but a precise Miwok village site. The only thing we had to go on was an old map drawn in 1919 that just indicated the general area where the village had been. Now, finding the bedrock mortars confirmed that we were in the right general area. Additional evidence of the village's location is right in the background of this photo. It's the only wide and relatively flat area in this part of the canyon where a village would have made sense.
Down that bank is the river, and you come up over this mound and you can see a nice, broad, relatively flat area. In fact, this is the only really flat area, or relatively flat area, in this part of the valley. Everything else is very narrow. But this is what looks to me like a perfect spot for the Miwok village to have been. This doesn't look like much right now, but a couple of hundred years ago, this little stream bed here might have been a very nice access for the village down to the main river. If you clear away this brush, if you can visualize through the trees there, through the brush, the river is just beyond there, and would be very easy, once this was cleared out, to walk down to the river, down to the main river. And this is very close to the main area that I think was the village at one time. As a matter of fact, it's immediately adjacent to that big, large, flat area. So I think this is additional evidence that that area would have been a good one for a village, because you have easy access to the river. You don't have to climb down a whole bunch of rocks and cliffs in order to get there. Well, Cody and I found another very interesting area. Pan over here and you can see that there are some bedrock mortars, and it's a combination of some very interesting shapes that have been created by the natural erosion from the river and the bedrock mortars that have been ground out by the Miwoks.